If you've been following the news, you've probably seen plenty of articles about the EU Pay Transparency Directive, and most of them do a good job of explaining what the law actually says. But very few answer the more practical question: what should you actually be doing right now? Do you start with salary ranges, or do you take a look at your underlying pay structure? Do you run your gender pay gap numbers, or is it time to rethink something much bigger? That's what I want to talk through today. Let's start with something that I think often gets overlooked. The directive hasn't suddenly created pay equality, and it certainly doesn't mean you'll become compliant overnight. What it really does is raise the bar for how you make, document, and explain your pay decisions. That's a key distinction, because this isn't just about producing a report once a year. It's about being able to answer one simple question: why is this person paid what they're paid? I think one reason for the confusion is that salary ranges have really dominated the headlines. They're visible, easy to understand, and yes, they are a critical part of the directive. But if that's all you're working on, you're probably looking at a very small piece of the puzzle. Behind every range is a bigger question. How did you actually decide on those numbers in the first place? If someone asks you 6 months from now why 2 employees are paid differently, do you have a clear answer? That's where the real prep begins. This is why many employers start with data. Not because it's exciting, but because without it, nothing else works. Think about your own organization. Are your job titles consistent? Are allowances recorded the same way across every team? Can you easily identify who's actually doing comparable work? Most organizations may find little inconsistencies they've lived with for years. The problem is, those inconsistencies become very visible once you start preparing for transparency. Here's where I think a lot of employers get caught out by the word compliance. It's not just about ticking a few boxes. This directive asks you to do something more. It asks you to explain, to justify, and to show that your pay decisions are based on objective factors. That takes preparation, not because you've done anything wrong, but because most organizations simply weren't designed with this level of transparency in mind. So where should you begin? If I were advising an employer today, I'd start with these 5 questions. First, can you truly trust your workforce data? Second, can you explain how pay decisions are actually made? Third, are similar roles treated consistently? Fourth, would you feel confident answering questions directly from employees? And finally, if you had to report tomorrow, would you be ready? Those questions will tell you far more than reading another summary of the law. The directive isn't just about new reporting requirements. It's really encouraging you to take a closer look at how you make pay decisions. That takes time, it takes preparation, and it starts long before that first report is due. Thanks for watching. Follow us for more insights.